Telecom.Rx, a low-cost, low-tech solution to bridge the language gap. According to a study done by the city of Buffalo, between 2006 and 2013, the foreign-born population of Buffalo increased by 95%. The most recent American Community Survey reports that Buffalo is home to over 22,000 foreign-born residents. Mayor Byron Brown has stated that it is one of Buffalo's missions to address the unique challenges that our immigrant and refugee communities face. So, how does this impact pharmacy and the healthcare professions? Due to differences in language and culture, immigrants and refugee communities have a difficult time navigating our healthcare system. As a result, these communities are at risk and may not be utilizing our healthcare system to its full capacity.
At a local pharmacy in Buffalo that works with 50 to 100 refugees per day, the current process to deal with these patients is tedious. The pharmacist has to pass the phone back and forth between them and the patients so that information can be communicated through the translator. Pharmacists are already handling on average 300 to 500 scripts per day on a regular basis. With the long and arduous process with current translation services, it could disrupt pharmacy workflow. Therefore, a more streamlined and less labor-intensive program would be needed to regulate workflow and make the process easier for refugee patients. Also, these services are only to be used in the pharmacies and are not readily available at home. Patients may go home and not remember counseling points said at the pharmacies and would not have the resources to look up information regarding their prescriptions. Although pharmacies are required by law to have telephone translation services, there are still some limitations with their uses. When using the translation services, patients are being connected to a real live translator. However, patients may experience long wait times to actually speak with the translator. Wait times are not immediate and may take up to 5 to 10 minutes to reach a translator, even for common foreign languages. Depending on the pharmacy, the current translation service may not include rare languages that refugees speak, such as Nepali, Karen, Burmese, Somali, and so much more. Even if included, waiting time for these languages can be super long.
Using Telecom.Rx is very simple. First, you sign in using a secure application. Second, you pick the language of your choosing. And third, your session begins within seconds. The messaging system will work the same way as the telephone or text message reminder system that already exists. However, we will also expand the system to include more uncommon languages. In addition, we will create a hotline that can be reached at any time. The hotline will provide instructions on how to take the medication as well as counseling points that the doctor or pharmacist can tailor. We have partnered up with AnswerNet to help us set up the messaging system. Additionally, to address the problem of pharmacy illiteracy, we plan on collaborating with health fairs and organizing wellness clinics to educate the refugees. This would aid in increasing adherence statistics and hopefully make it easier for them to trust Western medicine. Our service will be the first of its kind to provide patients an accessible and easy-to-reach hotline that will give the patients instructions on how to take the medication. This system is streamlined, accessible, and not labor-intensive. For patients with multiple prescriptions, stickers will be used to indicate the correct hotline. This system allows access for patients without smartphones and allows access for illiterate patients. There are many advantages of using this system. Telecom.Rx has a user-friendly interface and it can accommodate 5 languages, including Burmese, Somali, Karen, Arabic, and Spanish. This system is also feasible, and this model can be translated globally to accommodate other populations and demographics. If the patient was prescribed atorvastatin, an example message stated here is as follows. Atorvastatin, take 1 tablet by mouth once daily. Avoid grapefruit juice.
After consulting AnswerNet, which is a company that specializes in call centers and answering services, we received an estimate for the programming fees. The initial setup fees are estimated to be $1,300, and this is a fixed cost. However, the program charges itself will vary depending on how many people want to use it and how often it will be used. Our example quote is for 25 local telephone numbers to use this service, which will be $125, and for 500 minutes at 25 cents a minute, that will cost an additional $125. The use of translators for the languages we mentioned was also quoted to be around $750 for our needs. We anticipate the cost of the system to be around $2,300.
Implementing Telecom.Rx to become a user-friendly system would include contacting AnswerNet and setting up a program in which we would also record translated voicemails. Then we would create leaflets to provide additional information on how to use the system, as well as host a health fair to open up the system to more patients. And there we will also provide an additional option for those who apply for free cell phone service. Here's an application for SafeLink Wireless, a government program to help people obtain a new means of communication. Our future goal is to hopefully expand the system to have more languages as well as more drug database to hopefully expand the system into a nationwide scale.
This is our team. We are an extremely passionate group of individuals who believe we can spearhead the project with our dedicated staff. So much for the opportunity to present Telecom.Rx with you. We stand together. One mission, no barriers.